Hello, Wayne Vose. Welcome back to our Profits Unlimited podcast channel. Let's get in and talk about what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about quantity versus quality accounts and how can you potentially focus on both. The best case scenario is quantity of quality accounts. And how do we go about doing that? Whether you're a one truck operation or a multi-crew company, it all goes back to how big or how many accounts do I want to have? And are those accounts going to be profitable? First 8, 9, 10 years I was in business, we were just going after a quantity of accounts and going after that quantity of accounts in the wrong way. And what I mean by that is quite simply, first thing we didn't understand was why we were charging what we were charging. Okay, so we were going after a lot of accounts, or what in our mind was a lot of accounts. Now keep in mind, I kind of say that and joke about it and smile now. That was probably, well, I know it was, less than 100 accounts, probably closer to 80 accounts. But at that point in time, that seemed like a lot of accounts to me. But I didn't understand the cost side, and we're not going to talk about that today. But, if you're going to take the approach of quantity over quality, and you can still have good quality accounts and go after quantity as well, but a lot of times when we look at just quantity, it may not be the best type of customer that we're trying to focus in on. And that's what I want to get across today is, if you're trying to build your customer base, have you thought about who it is you're trying to attract? Have you picked the lane? In other words, think of, runners out on a racetrack, right? And you got multiple lanes, maybe 6, 7 lanes on a racetrack, and everybody gets into a lane. Well, what I found myself doing was some days I was on the inside lane, some days I'm on the outside lane, and I was constantly in flux of running around with my arms wide open like this, trying to scoop up everybody from the little old lady on Social Security, and I say that with all due respect, to a nice quality account. But I could get a whole lot more of these little old ladies on Social Security or fixed incomes than I could find good quality commercial accounts, but I had a whole lot more confidence going after the quantity side. So a lot of it really goes back to the confidence that you have in yourself and how you perceive yourself. How do you perceive your business? Do you perceive your business and yourself as a professional? Don't take that the wrong way. But do you perceive yourself as a professional? Because I think that's the answer to the quantity or quality. Because, how many times don't you get that phone call from somebody and they're like, well, I'm on a fixed income. You ever heard that? I'm on a fixed income? If you've been mowing past one season, I'm sure you've heard it. And if you haven't, it's a miracle. But you will. You're going to hear it more and more. I'm on a fixed income. I'm a single mom. How cheap can you do this for me? And sometimes, we try to fit that niche. But what I found is I was trying to grow my customer base into a more quality customer base. I didn't fit that fixed income profile because, there's 2 types of customers we're looking for. We're looking for people that need something versus people that want something. And it's a whole lot easier sometimes to go out and fill our routes up with people that need something, the little old lady on Social Security, the single mom, whatever it may be. Okay, there's a million different things we could talk about in that scenario, but those are the 2 most common that we all run into. In the need-based, I need this done. I'm working 2 jobs, and I've got a couple children at home, blah, blah, blah. They throw in all the excuses, and all of a sudden you start to cave in and think, okay, well, I'll help them out. And I'm not saying we can't help people out. We certainly want to try to do that. But we got to help people out, but at the same time, maintain a certain profit margin. So if you're looking at the answer of being, hey, what do I want to do? Do I want to go after a niche-specific quality account and or try to fill those with the quantity of quality accounts? Or am I just, sometimes the mindset becomes, well, I'm just trying to build my business. So I'll build my business one way and I'll try to focus the other way. Well, then you get this going. It's that seesaw, right? All of a sudden what happens is you got a whole lot of work on the quantity side that may not be the best type of business that you need. And when that quality account comes along, you don't have room for it. So I just suggest that you take a closer look at it now. The smaller your company is, the easier the transition is to look for good quality accounts of people that want to hire a lawn service, a mowing contractor, okay? But they don't necessarily need a mowing service, because the person that wants it is willing to pay a little more for it. Anything, whether it's mowing or think of yourself, things you like. If you want something, you're willing to pay a little more for it sometimes. Look for that same type of customer. Somebody that wants to have their yard cut because, you know what? They got kids they got to take to soccer. They like to go to the lake, or they like to go hunting, or they like to do whatever it is they like to do on their free time. Because remember, in our industry, when it comes to mowing lawns, what are we really selling somebody? We're selling them back their free time, right? That's what they're buying from us. Yeah, they're getting their grass cut and they're getting their hedges trimmed or mulch put down, but we're really giving them back their free time to do what they want to do. And when somebody wants their free time back, and the key there was wants their free time back, right? They want a professional service so they can do what they want to do. And that's the fun with the free time. You and I satisfy that need for them by giving them back their free time. And we can do it with a quality account. But we got to have enough belief and trust ourselves as a professional service that know that, hey, we got to look professional, we got to act professional. And if we look and act professional, we're going to be perceived professionally and people will pay for it. So take a quick look at it, at your customer base now, and say, okay, who's my customer base? Do I have a lot of people that I'm servicing that, can't afford to pay anymore? Or do I have a good customer base of people that want my service, and that's the quality account that I'm going after? If you've got a lot of need-based or quantity-type customers, think about getting rid of some of that. You can do less work, make more money, and get more referrals. Because those, it goes back to the old saying, right? That birds of a feather flock together. Well, quality accounts hang out together, and quantity-type low-paying accounts hang out together. If you're spending all your time with low-paying accounts, you're going to get more low-paying referrals. If you're spending more of your time with a higher quality account, yeah, the expectation level might be a little bit higher, but you know what? They're paying more. So raise with them. Raise your level of professionalism. Deliver a more professional product. They'll be willing to pay for it. You're doing less work, making more money, and that's what it's all about. You've got a better company built with better quality accounts. They're more loyal accounts. A lot of times those quantity accounts, hey, they hired you because you were cheaper. They'll fire you when somebody comes along cheaper. But if you've got a good route full of customers that are quality-based customers and they want professionalism, they want somebody that shows up on time, they want somebody that calls them back, then guess what? They're hanging out with those type of people. They're referring those type of clientele to you, and they're willing to pay a little more for it. And at the end of the day, you're more successful and you're more profitable. And remember, profit is not a dirty word.